All right, so imagine this.
You're thrown into this, like, dark, dank prison cell, right? And the fear is just, like, crawling up your spine.
Yeah.
And you look across, and there's another guy there, and it slowly dawns on you.
Yeah.
He's here for opposing the same, like, tyrannical king that you oppose, Herod Kill. It's like, talk about a moment of just, like, tension, right?
And awkward, right? Like, where do you even begin?
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today, Herod the Great.
Yeah.
But we're starting with that scene, that feeling, because it gets to the heart of what it was like to live under his rule.
And it's amazing how, like, even though this whole prison cell thing is from a fictional story, it, like, totally throws you into a real historical moment,
Yeah.
and it lets us get into that whole atmosphere, the fear, the way everyone was on edge all the time under Herod.
Yeah, like you said, it's not just a disliked king. It's that feeling of, if I say the wrong thing, I could be in that cell next.
Exactly.
And the story doesn't sugarcoat Herod either. Like, it just lays it out. Born in 73 BC, not even ethnically Jewish.
Yeah.
But man, was he ambitious. He wanted power. And he wasn't afraid to use some pretty brutal tactics to get it.
Right, and this is where things get really interesting, right? Because Herod, he was smart, like, seriously cunning. He saw the Roman Civil War happening, and he's like, okay, this is my chance. I'm picking a side.
And he picked the winning side.
He did. He threw his lot in with Augustus Caesar, and it was a total gamble. Could have gone south really fast.
Huge risk, huge reward.
Huge reward. Because it worked. That's how he ends up as the king of the Jews.
Which is kind of wild when you think about it. This guy who, by all accounts, was ruthless, paranoid, becomes king of a people he doesn't even really belong to.
Yeah, and you have to wonder how much of what he did, like building that amazing temple in Jerusalem, was really about faith, and how much was about, projecting an image, trying to win people over.
Yeah, like, look at this amazing thing I built, never mind all the other stuff.
Exactly. But that's what makes Herod so fascinating, right? Because it's never simple. Yeah, there was brutality, but he also brought stability. The economy boomed under his rule. It forces you to wrestle with the complexities of the guy.
Absolutely. And, one of the things I keep coming back to in this story is it's not the big speeches or the battles.
Mm-hmm.
It's that image of the prison cell, the detail about the prisoners missing their supper because everything's so chaotic, the sounds they hear at night.
It's like that's what gets you, right? Because suddenly you're not just reading about history, you're living it.
Exactly. It makes the history real, relatable, even if it happened thousands of years ago.
And it reminds you that, like, even if you're not a king or a general, this stuff affects you. Every political decision, every war, it trickles down. The people in that cell, they might not have chosen to be a part of Herod's story, but they're living with the consequences.
It makes you wonder, if those prisoners did find a way to talk, what stories could they tell us? What would they say about Herod? What did they see that history books don't talk about?
Right. And even bigger than that, it makes you think about how much these patterns repeat throughout history. This whole dance between power, ambition, fear, it's still going on today.
Absolutely. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. Looking at a figure like Herod, trying to understand him, it helps us understand ourselves a little better, too.
100%.
And that's a good place to leave it for today.